while you're talking about the gross things, my niece was in a restaurant one time and she was watching a waitress clear the tables. Yeah. And the waitress took a customer's used napkin and wiped off the top of the ketchup bottle before she put it back on the table. And then I work for the government. Sorry, but someone paid their fine and it was wet. And they're going, so they left the people looked at it and they smelled it. The guy peed on it. So we dried it out. We put it in a separate envelope, took it to the bank to exchange the money because we didn't want to mix it with ours. And the teller she goes, and we told her what happened. She goes, oh, no biggie. So she grabs the money and just puts it in a little box and touches other money and hands it to the new fine minute. Okay.
Hi, Cat Country.
Good morning. This is kind of on the same line of what you guys are talking about.
Okay.
But my husband and I went to a ice cream building, something very popular in Billings a few years ago. And as the one person was taking my husband's order for his ice cream cones, the girl who was going to prepare the ice cream cone had her chin in her hand, and she was playing with the inside of her lip with her fingers. And she went ahead and proceeded to grab the ice cream cone and make the ice cream and handed it to us and looked very offended when I apologized for asking her to remake an ice cream cone after she washed her hands.
Oh, I'm sure they were very, very bothered. Oh, my God.
She looked really offended, and I thought, that was just really gross.
That's right.
And you'll even have people who handle the money grab the ice cream cone from them.
Yeah.
And then hand it to you, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be paranoid, but that is just nasty.
Yeah, I know.
And, I'm paying for a clean ice cream cone.
Well, you don't know where that mouth has been. Thank you. Or her fingers or anything else. And it's just gross.
I didn't want pralines and syphilis. I wanted pralines. And Leroy Van Dyke's probably going, well, what's the problem? God, he's only 77. Mm-hmm. Leroy Van Dyke's pushing 90.
Yeah.
That's why it's a 4 o'clock show.
And he'll be yawning when he gets out there. That's kind of late at that age.
And when you're that age, you don't have any other concert dates scheduled after that one. You just do one. You do one at a time, and that's it. Then you schedule another one.
Here's another hokey line you'll like from my dad's band, because my dad played dances all over the state, and they booked him to play a wedding one time. And the folks who paid the bill liked my dad's band. And Dad was extremely country. And their daughter's wedding, they were looking for something a little higher energy, a little more rock and roll and screaming guitar. And Dad's line for that was always, well, I can see you're not thrilled to see us. Y'all came in here looking for the Grateful Dead, and you got the happy we're still alive.
Oh, my gosh. And he probably uses it at every gig they do.
Hey, it still works, man. Good line.
Oh, a family is suing a New Jersey school district, contending that the phrase "under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance is discriminating against their children. Then shove it up your butt and take your children to some other school. That's what I would tell them. I'm sorry, Mark. I've about had it to hear with these people.
We all should be that mad.
That don't listen, plug your ears, or get your kid out of school and take him somewhere else and homeschooling.
Hear, hear.
If you don't like the Pledge of Allegiance.
We've insisted on poking fun at women with jokes the last few days. So let's talk about men today, shall we?
Men suck.
What is a man's favorite sleeping position, Paul?
I don't know.
Around.
Oh, well, that figures. Yeah.
How can you tell if your man is happy?
Are they?
Who cares? Why do only 10% of men make it to heaven?
I don't know why.
Because otherwise it would be hell.
Ooh.
I really like this next one. How many men does it take to screw in a light bulb? It takes 3. 1 to screw in the bulb and 2 to listen to him brag about the screwing part.
Whole lot of Rosies gathered in one spot. The Guinness people are recognizing a new world record for the most Rosie the Riveters gathering in one place. They gathered at a Michigan plant where World War II bombers were produced by the thousands. The Willow Run bomber plant is also where Rosie the Riveter worked. as women join the workforce to help in the war effort. Guinness confirms that 778 Rosies, including Crackling, were all part of the site on March 29th. God, Mark.
You know, we're just getting kind of plugged in here and getting everything going. I'm going to say one word to you, and I want you to know, honey, this isn't coming from me. This is, I know you're going to be upset, but I thought maybe this should come from me. Toner.
Toner?
Toner.
Oh!
I knew it. I knew you wouldn't take that well.
Toner?
Toner. Flashy light, paper jam.
God!
Sorry.
I hate that piece of...
We'll have first news eventually this morning here on the Cat. Got the farmer busy working on the equipment. This is like a regular project. I'm just kind of taking inventory of what we got. And Paul's got the hood up on something, got his tools out. Banging it on the side. I about got her.
Well, we got the copy machine working. That's good. Got your blower working yesterday, although we had to evacuate the upstairs here because of the 2-cycle engine smoke, but got that running.
Well, it's funny because Paul got it running and then probably ran it for, 60 seconds just to make sure everything was working right. And then a couple of people walked by and you can smell the exhaust and they're looking in here like, what is going on? Those guys, they're just different. The place smells like a shop in there.
Well, guess what now? Wranglers in the United States have had to add bigger horses to their stables that carry these larger, fat tourists over the rugged terrain. Yep, draft horses. These are the diesels of the horse world, man. These draft horses.
Great analogy from you.
And they're being used now to make sure these Wranglers don't lose out because these customers of mammoth sizes are coming out to get closer to the West. These operators said they started adding the bigger horses back in the late 90s, and horses of 1,800 pounds now hit the trails, giving riders more than 300 pounds an opportunity to experience life in the saddle. Because some of these... No, never mind. But remember, charge me $50 for my bag if it's one.
Excuse me, Mr. Musse, but I believe that's 51 pounds.
It's 1 pound
we
over.
Have rules. I know this because I'm a Rams fan. Do you remember the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams in their first Super Bowl when they played the Steelers?
Was it Roman Gabriel?
Nope.
When they played the Steelers.
79.
Was it the guy from Penn State?
Well, John Capoletti was a running back they got from Penn State. I don't actually know where the quarterback went to college.
Who was it?
Vince Ferragamo.
Yeah.
He's 60 today.
Oh, yeah. He played the Incredible Hulk, didn't he? That's right. I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
He wasn't a good quarterback, but you never wanted to make him angry.
That's right. And this one's for Mark. Barbie is coming alive. Sony Pictures and Mattel have partnered to create now a live-action movie focused on the iconic doll.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be written by Jenny Bix and produced by her husband. Producers will be Parks/McDonald. And Sony sees the film as a global franchise and plans to go into production by the end of the year. It's the second collaboration for Mattel and Sony. The companies are developing the film adaptation of Masters of the Universe based on Mattel action figures. But they're going to have, look at all the ones that are out there now. I mean, we're seeing Captain America and we're seeing Spider-Man again. And
yeah, but those were all comic books. So this is interesting because she was a doll.
Yeah. And if it would be Bimbo Barbie, Mark, I'm telling you, that'd be right up your alley. Be perfect for you. You'd love that.
Well, let's start this morning with the topic of bad moods. If you are flying out of Billings, Paul and I have some very bad news for you.
Oh my gosh.
It comes in the form of a flight attendant. I don't know what's wrong with her life.
I don't either.
You are going to pay.
Oh my gosh. She could have cut through half-inch steel with that look. I mean, that was the kind of look you never forget.
Oh my God.
It was I almost couldn't stop laughing when I saw it.
You don't dare stop and ask if everything's okay.
Man, oh, Friday.
So if you're up at the airport right now, just don't ask for anything. Maybe get a soda or something before you get on the plane. Excuse me, miss.
Wow.
Oh.
She was not happy to be where she was at that particular hour of the morning. And whew, and I thought, man, you could have a lot bigger problems in this world than just having to leave at 5 in the morning to get on your flight.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the flight crews stay at this hotel. And so, or I guess I would say the majority. I don't know if they all do, but there's a flight crew or two going out every morning. And yesterday morning, like 3 of the flight crew got on the wrong van, which greatly upset Dallas, the doorman.
Yeah.
Hey. That's not yours.
That's the United van. Well, in Billings Airport, it's not like the terminals are 7 miles apart.
You've essentially got 2 doors you can go in. Neither one is terribly far from where you need to be. So
that's all right. That's how he's done it all these years. So that's fine.
Decent day yesterday with a little bit of wind again. Just looking to see the updated forecast to see if they're still thinking. Oh, yeah, they're still thinking. Of course, I've got 3 different weather apps on my phone, and they're all a little bit different. So it's kind of like we got another guy that works at another station in our group, and his forecast is always a little brighter than ours.
Yeah, he changes it. He makes it better.
So, don't feel bad. It's not going to be 75 at your house today. It's going to be 77.
Yeah. Remember when it was supposed to be like 26 below? He'd say 23 below. He'd always changed it.
Hey, good guy to have around. Always in a good mood.
Last week, we had potential wind gust. I was listening up to 43 miles an hour. Not 45, 43 miles an hour.
Now,
I don't know why he changes it.
Now, there's a guy you want to be sitting next to when you get on that plane with the crabby stewardess. Hey, ma'am, I've been there. Let me tell you my story.
God, she just... Huh?
I know.
If you looked up this word in the dictionary, it would have this girl's name right next to it. Wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Oh, my gosh, people.
Because there's a difference between when we see people standing in there. You know, it's Friday. We're all tired when you're in a hotel lobby before 5 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, depending on what's going on in your life, some days are worse than others. But nobody looked like she looked. And sure, I could have gone over and hit her with some of the Wilson charm, but what has she done to deserve that, huh?
I was hoping you would. I was hoping you would.
It's been my experience. I like to put women in a bad mood because of stuff I've done. Yeah. I don't need to go find one.
Well, I thought maybe if we double teamed her, we could cheer her up a little bit.
You know, it would be worth the effort. And maybe she'd be on the plane. You know, today started off really bad.
We should have walked right up to her and said, "You look fabulous." I mean, and you know what you would have said?
Yes, I do.
Drop dead.